Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you've clicked into this video, you're likely wondering, did I really quit alternate day fasting? Yes, I did. And I'll be covering the reasons why, and what type of fasting schedule I have been utilizing in its place. Hey everyone, before I jump in, please don't forget to like and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell. It really helps my channel. So when I began my fasting journey, I started it off by cycling through the various windows of time-restricted eating. And then in the second month, I began alternate day fasting. And this carried on for a few months. And you may have heard me mention it in previous videos. My intent with beginning intermittent fasting was to eventually build up to alternate day fasting for the additional health benefits. You also may have heard me voice my discontent with the growing pains associated with extending my window. However, I did give alternate day fasting a few months before I stumbled across some research that opened new doors for me, and that came in the form of the 5-2 diet. But before I do my compare and contrast, some of you may be curious about exploring alternate day fasting for yourself, and you may be wondering, what didn't I like about alternate day fasting? And when it comes down to it, the biggest downfall that I couldn't get past was the time that I was missing out on sitting at the dinner table with my family. I've always kept my family in the loop, and they are fully aware of my reasons for incorporating intermittent fasting into my lifestyle, and they are supportive. However, I have never had the iron will to sit at the dinner table while others are eating around me. There are those that have mastered this feat. However, I am not one of those people, and I attribute this to my food FOMO. There it is. Yes, food FOMO. I grew up in a large family, which includes 5 brothers. And if you didn't get in there and grab a plate, you likely would be looking at the bottom of an empty serving dish. Still hungry. And in journaling my weight loss journey, I came to realize how much it bothered me to be standing on the sidelines, hearing others rave about the food that they were consuming. And not that they did this intentionally, but it's pretty easy to tell if someone is enjoying what's on the plate in front of them. And since I've stopped alternate day fasting, I feel that I'm no longer fixated on food. I can look over and see others eating on the couch next to me. And while if it's something that looks especially good, I'll still think, yum. But that is something that I can easily get past, and it doesn't faze me whatsoever. I consider this a huge win. I don't find myself preoccupied with food, and that is so freeing. And the reason that I can continue to see results and enjoy intermittent fasting is because I've incorporated 5-2 into my lifestyle. In an article out of the Annual Review of Nutrition titled Cardiometabolic Benefits of Intermittent Fasting, researchers analyzed and compared the cardiometabolic benefits associated with alternate day fasting, the 5-2 diet, as well as time-restricted eating. They also looked at modified alternate day fasting within their review, and they only pulled information from studies done in human trials. And let's start with the topic that I'm sure many of you are curious about, the comparison with weight loss. So what they found is that over an 8-week period, individuals utilizing the 5-2 method had a 4 to 5% weight loss. However, individuals that did alternate day fasting lost a little more at 3 to 8%. But in looking at studies that carried on to 24 weeks, individuals utilizing the 5-2 method on average lost 7%, which is also very similar to the results with alternate day fasting, in which individuals that extended their fast to 24 weeks lost on average 6 to 8%. And there really wasn't much of a difference between those that did alternate day fasting and those that did modified alternate day fasting. At 6 to 12 weeks, they found that individuals in both groups had lost 4 to 8%. And they also looked at their net energy deficit, otherwise known as net calorie deficit. And they saw that all three had similar results. There was a decrease between 20 and 35%. It is important to note that the reviewers mentioned that additional studies are necessary to determine the level of compliance with the alternate day fasting studies. And this is very likely because individuals that utilized alternate day fasting are fasting twice as much per week as those that are doing the 5-2 method. So logically, you would expect that they would have a larger caloric deficit. They also mentioned in the article that those individuals doing alternate day fasting didn't turn around and consume a large amount of food or eat in overall excess on their feast days, which could speak to the comparable caloric deficit. Yes, we will definitely need more studies. Very interesting. And if you're wondering how this change has affected my own personal weight loss, As you can see here, this is where I made the shift from alternate day fasting to 5-2, and the weight loss continued. But in full transparency, I also do a sporadic 72-hour fast. I have done 2 or 3 since starting intermittent fasting, and this is while doing both alternate day fasting and the 5-2 method. And yes, I am still losing weight. The next cardiometabolic marker that they looked at was cholesterol, and individuals that did the 5-2 method on average experienced a 10 to 12% decrease in their LDL, otherwise known as the bad cholesterol, which puts you at higher risk for heart attack and stroke. And individuals that used alternate day fasting experienced slightly more of an improvement, with a decrease of 10 to 23%. And those that practiced modified alternate day fasting had similar results, with an 8 to 25% decrease. Okay, the next marker that they looked at was the effect on fasting insulin and insulin resistance. And this is where alternate day fasting shows that it was more beneficial. Whereas individuals doing 5-2 experienced a reduction of 27%, those that did alternate day fasting or modified alternate day fasting experienced a reduction of 52% in fasting insulin and a 53% decrease in insulin resistance. So, alternate day fasting does show that it could be additionally beneficial to those that have insulin resistance or those that are pre-diabetic or diabetic. But I will say a reduction of 27% is still pretty good. And the last marker that they examined was the effect on blood pressure. So, individuals doing the 5-2 method experienced a reduction in their systolic blood pressure of 2 to 4%. And this is pretty comparable to those that practiced alternate day fasting, in which they experienced a decrease of 5% in their systolic blood pressure. So, to sum it up, individuals that practice alternate day fasting have a leg up when it comes to working on the reversal of insulin resistance. However, both alternate day fasting and 5-2 have demonstrated that they produce similar results with respects to weight, blood pressure, and cholesterol. Although alternate day fasting also had a higher range with respects to the benefits in the LDL marker. So when I add it all up, it really was about weighing the pros and the cons. And for me, using the 5-2 method stacked the pro list high enough with all of the benefits that I just covered that I felt comfortable making a switch. I also feel that I have come out ahead because intermittent fasting is so much about making it work for you and your family. And having that extra time sitting at the dinner table with my family was a huge plus on the pro list. And I'm also going to put this out there. I can't overlook the benefits that I'm receiving in doing those occasional 72-hour fasts. And I go into full detail about the health benefits associated with doing the 72-hour water fast in a previous video, as well as how to get started if you're interested in doing one yourself. Please check out this link if you would like to know more. Something else that I would like to add is for those of you that are like me that crave the details or want to know more about the studies that I'm covering in my videos, please be sure to check out the description down below for information on how you could get an insider's take on my videos and spend some more couch time with Windsor and myself each week. As always, I hope this information was helpful and helps you to navigate your own journey. I'll see you in the next one.